they cleared the summit and they brought here more than 20,000 tons of marble.
Wow.
Blocks of 4 to 14 tons each. Remember how they said, the last afternoon in my senior about the blocks there. And the first building they built is Parthenon, is this building here, which was built in 9 years only from scratch. Now, Athenians like to offer the goddess of wisdom not only a perfect geometric and architecturally made home, but also aesthetically. And as you know, the geometry is not identified with the human eye, because we have the human eye illusion. The human eye sees the straight, geometrically made line as a curve from a distance. So they studied the human eye illusion, which became a mathematical parameter, and they made the lines of this building all curved to the opposite way, so the human eye to see them perfectly straight. Since we enter from the gates until we lose the panoramic view of the building and we are focused on the detail, we see the lines straight of this building because they are not. Later we are going to check the curvature of this building. If we say that the lines are curves, then we have to say that the surfaces we make in our buildings level here are spheric, like the floor. And the sphericity of the floor goes all the way to the roof. Another thing related with the aesthetics has to do with the columns. The columns seems to be identical to each other. But if they were made identical, then we should see them different, and now not because of the lines, but because of the light. An object being in the light seems to be smaller and thinner, and forming behind shade seems to be bigger and fatter. So they studied the light of these columns for a year, possibly by using a wooden model for each one of them. They made averages, and they made the columns all unique according to the place each one of them is erected. They made the corner ones who receive the most of the light, and they should seem thinner, they made them fatter. And gradually, as we entered in the area of the shade, in all 4 sides, they get thinner. There is a gradual difference from one to the other, which is estimated to 2.5%. The building is built not vertical. If the building was built vertical, like we built today, our skyscrapers should create the impression to the approaching visitor, pilgrim design, that is going to fall upon him, to collapse upon him, especially when the person comes from lower level to higher. So they gave to the building a slight inclination inwards in the 4 sides, and so on a height approximately to 5,000 meters, the opposite columns should meet each other and the building should take the shape of a prism. The building, partially and as a unit, obeys strictly to the rules of the golden ratio. We could say a lot about the aesthetics and the specifications of this building. Seems to be perfect with extremely straight lines, but is made to be seen like this. If we go closer, we will see that it's not exactly as we think it is. What was inside? Inside was the cult statue of the goddess. The cult statue of the goddess was 12 meters high. It was like one of the columns you see here. It was made of gold and ivory, and it's estimated that they used 1,150 kilos gold for the golden part. The statue was inside for approximately 1,000 years, been the object of the worship of the ancient Athenians. So when Apostle Paul delivered his speech on Mars Hill, the statue was inside. And it was very brave of him to speak about divinity, but doesn't like to silver and gold and art in human devices. Yeah, speaking in the shade of such an object. It was very brave. The statue disappeared at the end of 4th century when the Emperor Theodosius by force made Christianity state religion. Theodosius actually started his campaign to evangelize the faith of love to the non-Christians of the empire by using his sword and his army from the city of Thessaloniki, where he slaughtered 7,000 Thessalonians in the Hippodrome just because they were not Christians. When that was heard in Athens, Athenians decided to survive. So the entire city of Athens, in one day, formed a procession, and they went down there to the sea, and they were all together baptized Christians the same day. And the famous temple of the Virgin Goddess of Wisdom was converted into a Christian church dedicated to another virgin, the Virgin Mary, who was worshipped there together with the Holy Wisdom, Hagia Sophia. So everybody was happy. Theodosius, because Athenians were converted overnight into Christianity, the nest of paganism disappeared in a night, and Athenians, they were happy not only because they survived, but because they could worship virginity and wisdom at the same temple as they did before, although now under a Christian cover. For 1,000 more years, this temple was the Christian cathedral of Athens. 15th century, the Ottomans came here and they turned the temple into a mosque. Late 17th century, during the Turkish-Venetian War, Turks used this summit here as a fortress and the temple as an arsenal in which they stored all their gunpowder and their ammunitions. On the other side, the Venetian artillery was set up there to the top of this hill, and from there bombarded the summit of the Athenian acropolis, causing to the monuments severe destruction. The monuments were almost intact up to this time, 17th century, late 17th century AD. 1801, the British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire, Lord Elgin, with the permission from the Sultan, came here and he collected a lot from the sculpture decoration of Parthenon, which is considered to be the best ever made collection of statues according to the classical style. Beginning of 20th century, the archaeologists found that a lot of lead used in antiquity to join the marble blocks was removed, obviously turned to bullets during the wars, and so being afraid of collapses after an earthquake, they decided to fill the empty spaces with iron and concrete. The iron rusted, causing more damage to the marble, and so since 1975 is a project of reconstruction. They try to find the iron and the concrete to remove it. In the case they need to use metal, they use titanium now, and in the case they like to extract broken blocks or to make some blocks, they use marble of the same ancient quarry, which should have always a color difference with the original, so the visitor know what is the addition. Another major thing they do today is they try to collect pieces of Parthenon that were scattered around because of the explosions and to put them back to their original place. Look, this building, because of the curves and the mathematics, is made by 16,500 unique pieces. So even fragments of them, because of the curves, can be scanned today and can be found the only place to which it belongs. So they have found more than 700 pieces fully recognizable and identifiable. We are going on the other side of the building to check the car.